Good morning. It's a beautiful sunny winter day, and we're charged up almost to 100%, and we're ready to head north and find a new supercharger. On the road, and we left about 9 o'clock, stopped to get some coffee, so we're just kind of getting rolling here. It's almost 9:20, and we're just coming up just south of St. Paul and heading north, pretty much straight shot north. The navigation is suggesting we stop at Carlton for 10 minutes. Two Harbors is about 175 miles away, and according to how we've been driving, it's suggesting we have 187 miles, so we should be able to make it without a charge, but we're going to need a bathroom stop in the middle anyway, and Hinckley is our kind of default place to do that. Thinking we'll just make a quick pit stop and then not add that Carlton stop, but going to keep the navigation and the graph up for now, just to kind of see how it changes over time. But it's again, beautiful 28 degrees on a winter morning in February. That's pretty darn good. I'll take that any day. So since the weather is going to be a little nicer, hopefully it is all the way up there, we'll be able to get out near one of the parks by Lake Superior and check that out, the ice and the waves and everything while we're up there. Just a fun little day adventure, but thought we'd bring you along. Joan, can you say good morning? You wave? We're a little sleepy back there this morning. We'll catch you on down the road. It is 10:30 and we are near Hinckley. I was debating whether or not to skip it because I think if we could have managed our speed a little bit. I've been staying between 5 and 3 miles over the speed limit, so trying to keep speed at a relative flow of traffic but keep it down for efficiency's sake, and that's been going well. I'm pretty sure we could make it all the way to Two Harbors without a stop, even though it's 34 degrees Fahrenheit. I've canceled the navigation to Two Harbors that had us stopping in Carlton and just decided to navigate right to Hinckley. Precondition, get it warm, may as well plug in while we're there, and then that'll cancel out that Carlton stop, which is a great stop. It's at the casino, but not as good for snacks and things like that. So this is a little more convenient, especially with Joan with me. Before I started preconditioning, we were at about 53%. Preconditioning's brought us down to 48, so we're burning a little juice doing that, but again, hopefully it maximizes charging speed while we're there. We aren't going to take any extra time than we would for snacks anyway. Whatever we get will be enough. There's so many options between the Northbranch stop, which we passed, Hinckley, Black Bear, Carlton, downtown Duluth, and then in Two Harbors. This is just, a very simple trip to do, but that's the beauty of having multiple stops, is that you can kind of pick and choose what works best for you. If you're an adult couple or a group of friends and you'd much rather stop at the casino, then that totally makes sense, and you could easily do that too. We're going to take advantage of Toby's here in Hinckley and stick with tradition for us. So we'll see you there. At Hinckley at 44%, gone almost 100 miles. And gonna charge and take a potty break. Toby's is hopping this morning. And this is one of the older stations in Minnesota, so it's only 150 kilowatt. But it does just fine. After a few seconds of talking, we are charging. So, we'll get Joan out. Are you having fun? Yeah? Oh, good. Should we go find some snacks? Alright, we walked in for a restroom break and grabbed some snacks. And now we're off to the big lake. Just that little time we were in there, we got up to 77% when last I looked. So, doing a good job. That'll be plenty to get us to Two Harbors. Looks like 7:59 for charging here in Hinckley. Up to 78% by 10:55. All right, Joan, are you ready to go find that big lake? All right, let's go. back on the road, and that little stop at Hinckley turned into 25 minutes apparently. Didn't feel that long at all, but we weren't exactly rushing either. We just went in, did our thing, had a banana on the way back to the car, and then got Joan situated and left. Got plenty of charge. It's saying we're going to get there with something like 38%, somewhere around there. So way more than we need to get to Two Harbors, but it's just how easy this is. It is 37 degrees, the car is saying, and so for February, that's great. Hopefully it's still nice up by the lake, but it's sunny and we're just having a good time singing some sea shanties. That's what you do with a 9-year-old in 2023, and Irish folk songs, but that goes without saying. And luckily, although it is a beautiful day, it's not a windy day. Again, we'll see what it's like up by the lake, but so far, really good. The only downside is I realized in the rush of getting gear and Joan out to the car, I didn't put my good camera in here, so I was hoping for some good photography opportunities, but that's all right. That's why we have cell phones, right? But that's enough rambling. I'll cut back in if anything exciting happens. Until then, enjoy the scenery, and I'm going to enjoy autopilot. We are in the northeastern part of Duluth, heading along the North Shore Drive, Highway 61. We're in the slow residential part. The lake seems very calm today. Temperature is still 38 degrees Fahrenheit. So beautiful day, lots of people out walking on the pathway by the lake. We'll be enjoying that here in a bit. We're about 20 miles away from the Supercharger. We've been preconditioning at least since we've been in Duluth, which I think is bringing our consumption back up, but we're doing really, really well. Yeah, the lake is just beautiful today. So good choice to come up here. We're going to charge first, get lunch, and then we'll find a park to go see the lake up close. Definitely that charge in Hinckley set us up for good success. We've still got, according to our consumption graph, almost 100 miles left of range to go the next 20. So definitely got more than we needed there. Hitting this stretch of semi-interstate here between Duluth and Two Harbors. Autopilot FSD is taking care of most of the work here, and we're just enjoying the day. Just got to Two Harbors, 29% at 12:30, so a little over 3 hours to go 202 miles, and ready to check this place out, use the restroom, and get moving. Really nice install here. 8 stalls, V3, well cleared out. The snow piles are nearby, but the actual chargers are perfectly cleared out, which is great. Nice thin V3 handles. Then very quickly we're charging. Yeah, instantly. 175, 196, 225. Yeah, we're just cranking, so that's fantastic. 227 at 29%. I can't complain about that. I'm going to bump this down so we don't actually hit 100%. But we're going to get out, use the restroom, and check the rest of this place out. Is it windy here? Windy and sunny. What do you think? So we were just in the store for a handful of minutes and got back up to 78%. We could have left right then, but I just recorded a little Supercharger review for Zach and Jesse's Now You Know Supercharger review page. And I like doing that, but we're kind of getting to the point now with Supercharger reviews, plug share check-ins, rate your charge statements, and things like that, where it's almost a second job making sure you check in with everybody, which is a little tiresome. I know it's good for the community of EV drivers, but it does become a little bit of a hassle. Hopefully that kind of stuff can get streamlined and we don't have to do clerical work at every charge stop. But this is a good spot and happy to have it here. Let's get that Joan some nuggets. All right, we're at 47 kilowatts at 86%, 12:57, and time to unplug. You ready for nuggets, Joan? Yeah, all right, let's go do that. As Joan and I take a quick drive back down to Highway 61 for lunch, I wanted to fill you in on a couple other things. The actual Supercharger review will be a short 1-minute-ish video with all the stats of the charger and hours for the Super One food, so if you want more info, check that out. And as exciting as it is to have this so far up the North Shore in 2 harbors, the Supercharger network is expanding quickly, and we'll have another location up in Tofty later this year, really making travel along the North Shore of Lake Superior very easy. After lunch, we drove near where we camped last summer, then decided to go out to Agate Bay and see if we could walk to the Lighthouse. We are just about to leave 2 harbors. We just had a nice hike out to the Lighthouse. Lots of fishermen out there, and beautiful, beautiful day. I can't believe it's February on Lake Superior. And the car says it's still 39 degrees, so fantastic time. So far we've been 204 miles today. Gonna head home at 240, and we're still at 85%. So plenty to get home with one, potty break along the way. So no worries there. Joan, did you have fun at the lake? Yeah? Good. I did too. So let's get to it. We're now south of Duluth, south of Carlton, but a couple things popped up and I wanted to fill you in. First of all, driving through the residential area of Duluth where speeds are a little slower, we had a lot of glare coming off the wet roads, and autopilot FSD stopped very appropriately for a pedestrian crossing the road just out of the blue in front of us, gave them plenty of space, made it very comfortably aware that we were going to slow down and stop and wait for them to proceed. And then once they were out of our way, out of the next lane and continuing, then we proceeded perfectly. It was textbook exactly how I would have done it. So great there. And then a couple blocks later, and I did get this on camera, a car took a left in front of us. There was enough space, but they were going fast and cutting through quickly. So autopilot did slow down pretty quickly, but appropriately for the situation, made sure the car was through the lane and then proceeded again. So pretty good there. and then I was pretty amazed. I could barely see through that glare, and FSD kept us right in the lanes the whole time, so very impressed with that. I don't know if the glare is going to be as strong through the GoPro as it was in my eyes, but maybe that's just the difference between human vision and camera vision. But if it doesn't seem that bad to you watching back the footage, just know I could barely see. And then so we got through Duluth just fine. Again, just beautiful day to be up here. And then as we were getting to the top of the hill, I thought we were having a diaper emergency. Turned out to be just a little windy, but we did stop at the Lookout travel stop, the Minnesota Welcome Center there, which was a nice little restroom break. We checked up on the diaper and then we continued to go. So now navigating home, it's saying we should stop for 15 minutes in Northbranch, but that would get us home with 22% or something like that, which is good if you want a buffer, but on a nice warm day today, it's 45 degrees up here. Really decent. We don't need to get home with 20%. We will make one more pit stop, either in Hinckley or Northbranch. We'll see how I'm feeling by the time we get to Hinckley, but as usual, coming up this way, though, it's a very simple trip. Beautiful time in Two Harbors. Great that there's a Supercharger there now. We're just passing Barnum now, where there's that giant Voyager on the side of the hill. So we'll wave to him as we go by. Hope to get home by 6:15, 6:30 tonight. Maybe catch part of the Super Bowl. So we'll see. All right, plugging in and charging at Northbranch. Beautiful sunset happening over there. Still 40 degrees at the Holiday. Guess we'll look and see how our charge is going, but should ramp up pretty fast. We've been driving 73 miles an hour and now we need 15 minutes here, so if that. Yeah, we're up to 212, 216, 218, 220. That's just gonna keep going. I'm not worried about that at all. And this is our last leg before we get home. Are you getting tired? Are you ready to get home? All right, this is our last stop and then we'll go home, okay? Let's go. Saying we'll get home with 12%, which is plenty. We're at 52%. Let's take off. $9.24. It's 5:20. Let's head home. All right, we just left Northbranch. That was just a quick restroom stop and snack grab. It said we still had 5 minutes to charge, but it was saying we'd get home with 12%, which is more than enough buffer. And now that we're in the car and started going, it's saying we're going to get there with up to like 23% at home. So obviously don't need to arrive there with that much. Absolutely no worries. The consumption graph says we have like 103 miles or something like that still. Joan got some watermelon licorice. That's the treat she wanted. So she's enjoying that. The sun is still up, but we've got a nice sunset happening off to our right. So if this side of my face is blazing, that's why. But with it being Super Bowl Sunday and the Vikings, again, not in the game, I think driving through the Twin Cities is going to be pretty light traffic. Everybody's probably where they're going to be for the next few hours. So we should have an easy drive through Minneapolis and get home, hopefully, estimating we'll get home at about 6:20. So that's good. We'll have dinner. Joan will have a couple hours to decompress before bedtime after a fun day of adventures. I'll give you the final stats when we get home, but until then, enjoy this B-roll. Quick recap of the stats: 407 miles for the day, about 9 hours all told, and pretty efficient at 328 watt-hours per mile. And for mostly interstate driving in February, I think that's pretty good. Our average stop time was 18 minutes, but all while we were doing other things. And those 3 stops, the average cost was $10.04, and a total cost for the trip of $30.13. Now, we did get home with 25% left in the battery, so we could have charged less, saved a little money, gone a little faster, but when you're on a road trip and you're making stops, sometimes they just take as long as they take, and the car's ready before you are. When traveling with a child, that's a pretty common theme. But I'm really glad that the Supercharger in Two Harbors is functioning, fast, and plowed. That's excellent here in Minnesota in the winter, so great to see that. If you want more of the specific stats about that Supercharger, I'm going to do a 1-minute Supercharger review that I'll post soon, and that will be an easy, quick reference. I've got a whole playlist of them. But for now, I'm looking forward to easier road trips up north, especially once Tofty opens up. It's just going to be excellent. So thanks a lot for coming on this adventure with us. If you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And we'll see you next time. And most importantly, happy road tripping and have a great day. Thanks.